All right, so today we're diving deep into the world of business with a bit of a maverick,
Yeah.
Simon Squibb.
A true innovator, yeah.
He claims he can distill 30 years of experience into, well, one sitting. And we're going to see if he delivers.
And you know what's refreshing about Squibb? He completely flips the script. He doesn't even start with those, those traditional business plans and spreadsheets.
Yeah, you'd expect that, wouldn't you?
Exactly. Instead, he goes straight to the heart, saying that any successful business, it's got to start with a feeling, a really deep desire for change.
There's like that gut feeling that something's just got to be different, right?
Exactly, that spark of an idea, that burning desire. But here's the thing, Squibb doesn't stop there.
Because, we all have ideas, right? It's the execution that's tricky.
Absolutely. And that's where he brings in the business lens. He's adamant about channeling that passion through a strategic framework. And the best part is he's got the experience to back it up.
Well, he's definitely been in the trenches. Building a successful marketing agency in such a competitive landscape, it's cutthroat out there.
Seriously. When he launched Fluid, he was up against, get this, over 500 other marketing agencies.
500. You've got to be kidding me. That's insane. So what was his edge? How did he break through all that noise?
Squibb's answer is simple: obsession. He was relentless, constantly pushing boundaries. He often says it never felt like work because he was just so darn passionate about what he was doing.
So it's about finding that sweet spot, that intersection of passion and, purpose.
Exactly. It's not enough to just love what you do. Your business needs a soul. Squibb truly believes that. It's about making a real difference, not just chasing profits.
I love that idea, I really do. But I'm sure a lot of entrepreneurs listening are thinking, okay, purpose is great, but how does that translate to cold, hard success?
Think of it this way. A strong purpose, a clear mission, it's like a magnet. It pulls people in, it draws them to your brand. You'll have customers who are loyal because they believe in what you stand for. And then there's your team, your employees.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
They'll be driven, totally dedicated, all united behind that shared mission.
It's like you're building a company where everyone is rowing in the same direction, all pulling towards the same goal. That's got to be powerful.
Incredibly powerful. But let's, bring it down to earth for a second. We've got this burning passion, a rock-solid purpose. Now what? Time for the business plan.
It's usually how it goes, yeah. Lay out all the steps, crunch the numbers, the whole 9 yards.
We'll get ready for another curveball. Squibb is all about ditching that rigid, traditional business plan. Instead, he advocates for a more flexible, dynamic approach, mind mapping.
Mind mapping. Okay, I'll admit, I'm intrigued, but also a little lost. Break it down for me.
Picture this. Instead of being stuck with a static document, you're creating a visual roadmap of your business.
Yeah.
Your core purpose, that's the central idea. And from that, branches sprout out, representing all the different avenues for growth. Products, services, partnerships, you name it.
So it's like a living, breathing document, constantly evolving as your business grows.
Exactly. And the best part is, Squibb practices what he preaches. He actually shares his own mind map for his company, Free Humanity. It's got branches for everything: podcasts, apps, even merchandise, you name it. And this map, it's been his guiding light for over 4 years.
It's like having a roadmap, but with the flexibility to adapt to those unexpected detours and opportunities along the way.
And in today's constantly changing market, that adaptability, that's golden.
Okay, so we've got the passion, the purpose, the roadmap, but how do we actually turn all of that into tangible success?
Well, Squibb has a bit of a formula for that.
I bet he does. Lay it on me.
And get this, he starts with, are you ready for this? Delayed gratification.
Delayed gratification. Wait a minute. Isn't that a little kind of counterintuitive in today's world of, instant everything?
That's Squibb for you. He's all about the long game. He says rushing those profits early on, that can actually hurt you, keep you from building something that really lasts.
So instead of grabbing that low-hanging fruit, we should be focusing on building something, something with deeper roots.
Now you're getting it. And he actually has this amazing story about his very first client at Fluid. Ready for this? He worked for free.
What? For free? Okay, you've got to be kidding me. That's a bold move, especially when you're just starting out.
It was a calculated risk, sure, but it paid off big time. Building that trust, delivering incredible value upfront, it turned that client into a 16-year relationship. Not to mention endless referrals.
Wow. Talk about a testament to the power of playing the long game, right?
And you want to know what's really interesting? This whole idea of delayed gratification, it ties directly back to what we were talking about earlier. building a customer-centric culture.
Oh, I see that. It's about building relationships, real relationships, not just transactions.
Exactly. And Squibb puts it so well. He asks, do you want to manage people, or do you want to manage purpose?
Ooh, that's a good one. Because I think a lot of entrepreneurs, they crave that sense of shared vision, a company where everyone feels valued.
And it's so much less about squeezing every last penny out of every deal, and so much more about those win-win scenarios where both your business, your customers, everyone benefits in the long run.
It's like building a community around your brand, not just a customer base.
100%.
But okay, with all this talk about, purpose and long-term vision, is there even room for something as, random as luck?
I'm glad you asked, because Squibb actually believes you can hack luck.
Wait, hold on. Hack luck. What does that even mean?
I'm serious. He breaks it down into 3 things: persistence, knowing your destination, and taking those calculated risks.
Okay, so it's not just about wishing on a 4-leaf clover. It's about, creating the right conditions for those lucky breaks to kind of fall into place.
You got it. Let's start with persistence. Remember how we talked about how crazy competitive the marketing world was when Squibb launched Fluid?
Right.
He saw so many people, so many other agencies just give up when things got tough. But his passion, it fueled that persistence. He outlasted the competition by simply refusing to quit.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that quiet determination to just weather the storm, come out the other side stronger.
Without a doubt. But persistence without direction, it's like sailing without a map. And that's where knowing your destination comes in.
Right, because you could be working really hard, but if you're headed in the wrong direction, it's not going to get you very far.
Exactly. And that's why Squibb tells entrepreneurs, define success for yourself. Don't let society tell you what it should look like. Is it a billion-dollar company? Financial freedom? Maybe just creating something truly unique. Having that clear vision, it's like your North Star. It guides your decisions, helps you spot the right opportunities.
It's like setting your internal compass before you set sail.
I love that. And then finally, we have those calculated risks.
Which, and correct me if I'm wrong, are a little different than just blindly leaping into the unknown, right?
Huge difference. For Squibb, a calculated risk means stepping outside of your comfort zone, sure, but always with your goals in mind. Always thinking about the potential rewards, but also the setbacks.
Right. It's about being strategic, not just like throwing darts blindfolded. Speaking of strategic, let's talk about the people who can, make or break your journey. Co-founders, investors, sponsors. Any advice on navigating those relationships?
Well, when it comes to finding that perfect co-founder, Squibb doesn't mince words. He compared it to, get this, finding a life partner.
Whoa, okay. That's a pretty serious comparison.
He's serious. It's about finding that person who not only complements your skills, fills in the gaps, but also, and this is crucial, shares those core values. Someone who really gets your vision and isn't afraid to, hold your feet to the fire.
Accountability. That's huge. Especially in those early stages when it's so easy to get off track.
100%. You need someone who's going to be there, right there with you, putting in the work, believing in that mission just as much as you do. Someone who can give you that extra push when things get tough.
It's like that yin to your yang. They balance you out, bring something unique to the table.
Exactly. Squibb's big on, knowing yourself, really understanding your strengths and being honest about your weaknesses, what you actually enjoy doing, what you're good at, and what you'd rather delegate.
Because let's face it, not everyone loves spreadsheets.
Exactly. So you find that co-founder who thrives in those areas where you might fall short. Boom, power duo.
I love it. Okay, so we found our business soulmate. What about funding? Any advice on approaching investors? Because I know that can be a pretty daunting part of the journey.
Oh, you're going to love this. Squibb has a bit of an unorthodox approach to this. He believes in shifting the dynamic from asking for money to asking for help.
Asking for help. Okay, now I'm really intrigued. How does that work?
It's about approaching these investors, not just with your hand out, but with a genuine desire to learn, to collaborate. You're seeking their advice, their guidance,
Yeah.
You're recognizing their expertise. It's humbling.
It's almost like you're approaching a mentor, not just someone with a checkbook.
Exactly. It's about building that relationship, that trust from the get-go. And honestly, that genuine desire to learn, it goes a long way.
Absolutely. It shows you're serious, you're in it for the right reason. Now, what about sponsorships? Any unconventional wisdom there?
This is where it gets interesting. Squibb, he has this little secret weapon, and it's all about thinking outside the box. Instead of going straight to the big brands, he recommends targeting, get this, media buyers and agencies.
Media buyers and agencies. Okay, that's not usually the first stop for most entrepreneurs. Why that approach?
Squibb realized that those media buyers, those agencies, they're always on the hunt for fresh content, unique experiences for their clients. And let's be honest, sometimes those bigger brands, they can be a little slow, a little harder to, to pin down.
They've already got their set ways of doing things.
Exactly. And Squibb, he learned this firsthand with his coaster advertising business. He actually found more success partnering with, of all things, airlines. Why?
Right.
Because he understood their target audience, their campaign goals, even better than some of the bigger brands he was initially going after.
It's about finding that perfect fit, that sweet spot where your offering aligns with their goals.
Nailed it. Now, speaking of alignment, let's shift gears a bit and talk about, building a brand for the long haul. How do you create something that stands the test of time?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
And Squibb's answer, it all starts with you, your personal brand.
Oh, I like where this is going. So, our own values, our beliefs, that should be the foundation for our businesses.
100%. It's your values, your non-negotiables. Those become the guiding principles, the soul of your company. That's what's going to attract those like-minded customers, those employees who really resonate with your vision.
It's about building something authentic, something that feels like a true extension of who you are, not just some money-making machine.
And that authenticity, it shines through in everything you do. Marketing, customer service, product development, it all stems from that core identity.
It makes sense. When you build something you truly believe in, it's got to resonate more.
It does. Okay, last but not least, before we wrap up here, let's talk about, exit strategies. Because we know Squibb's all about the long game, building something sustainable. But what about, building to sell? Is that always the end goal?
It's the question on a lot of entrepreneurs' minds, I'm sure. So what's the verdict?
This is where Squibb he flips the script again. Because he believes that when you pour your heart and soul into something, when you build a business with a strong brand, a passionate team, selling, it just becomes like a natural byproduct, not the be-all and end-all.
So it's about the journey, not just the destination. Building something you're proud of, something that makes a real difference, and trusting that the rest will fall into place.
Exactly. That's the beauty of it. Building a business, it's an adventure, not a race. It's about embracing those ups and downs, staying true to that vision, and honestly, remembering to enjoy the ride.
After spending this time with Squibb, diving deep into his insights, I'm feeling pretty inspired.
Me too.
He's a testament to the power of thinking differently, challenging the status quo, and staying true to yourself. And sometimes those unconventional paths, they lead to the most incredible destinations.
I couldn't agree more.